Hey, welcome back to another video from MBMRC. This is Brian. Just on the way back down the shop, I need to grab a battery adapter, a couple things I forgot. But before we get too far into today's video, as you are well aware, there is a contest going on, and we're pretty far away from our goal. You guys have done a great job, so I'm going to be releasing a video about that pretty soon, probably tomorrow or Tuesday. So just keep an eye out for that. Enjoy today's video, and yeah, don't forget to like, subscribe, and comment on this video. And yeah, it doesn't cost you nothing. So and, you know, if there's any criticism or any sort of tips that you guys could let us know about, let us know, and go from there. Thanks, guys.
Really good oil. Needs lifting up, bring it around. Stop it.
I don't have a tilt.
You'll be alright. You'll be alright. Too much elevator?
I didn't have any rudder either.
Kenny?
What? I'm just trying to clear it out.
Okay, go out in the field. Go out in the field. Way out.
I think I can bring it in.
Okay. That's what I was saying. You needed to go out further. Set it down.
So what exactly is the problem?
It's splashing out.
For people watching, how do you fix that?
Well, it's getting little pieces of probably debris off the bearing. It might have to be taken apart and cleaned out. Or we just let her run for a bit. Start her up and let her run.
Get a EC3 adapter.
No. This one here's got rust in it. On the top. It was laying back here. I found it. Must still be good.
Here we go with the third attempt. Is it just a sport plane, or is it more for like 3D? Now would probably be a great time to go ahead and plug this new awesome podcast I'm listening to. I talked to this guy on Facebook. He seems like a super nice guy. It's called the RC Scrap Pile Podcast. I kind of compare it to like the Joe Rogan show of RC podcast. I listen to him on Spotify. Make sure you check these guys out. They're awesome. I couldn't tell by looking through the camera how did it do. You gonna try another one?
First thing you want to do with a new airplane is try to get used to it first. I haven't.
Do another one.
I have an engine problem.
It'll fly a mile. You might need to go back.
You got that?
That's how I remembered it landing.
Third attempt, first full successful flight. What do you think of it?
Nice.
Now you've had one of these before, right?
Yeah, but I wasn't, I just came off it pretty much. Hi, this is Matt from MBM RC, and this is my second build of a Hot-Dawg DAWG from Bobby Baker. It was an RCM plan in January of 2000. We've built 4 of these now. We have another one that's all put together. It just needs covered yet, but I'll go piece by piece of the build, starting with the wing. I have my dad do the wing. He does most of all my wings. I can do it, but it's not really one of my favorite things to do. So this has, what I think has 14 ribs in it.
I don't remember something like that, yeah.
And they're spaced out quite a bit. It's like a phaser type deal, phaser, a Blue Hawk fun fly. The ribs are spaced way out. It's got shear webs going out, I think 4 bays, and it's got, he showed on the plan using SIG arrow shaft, the carbon fiber rod. I also have that in there. It's underneath the spar. The ribs are 1/8 inch, which I think is a little overkill for it, but 1/8 inch ribs, 3/32 sheeting, 1/4 inch tips, and it called for 2.5 aileron stock for it, and we just used 1/4 sheet and just made our own. No cap strips. It's got 2 aileron servos, paper tubes. The fuselage is 1/8 inch sides. It's got 3/8 square that run the top and bottom, and it's only got 2 formers. It's got the firewall, which really doesn't hold the engine because it has 2 hardwood beams that the engine sits on, and you do have to have the hardwood beams because the regular motor mount has the engine back too far. The other former is about right here, and you just kind of tie the back end together with using thin CA. Up in here it gets little doublers to make it 1/4 inch wide at the nose, and about halfway of the airfoil it gets another lamination of 1/8 inch balsa. The wing is a 1 piece, so you gotta, once everything's done on it, you gotta glue it in there. We did thin CA at first once we got the alignment done. Then we mixed up some epoxy and some SIG micro balloons and filled in the edges, top and bottom. So I don't think it's going to go anyplace. It's kind of a tight fit. It's better than a phaser or a Blue Hawk, because those planes, the servos and that stuff go in the wing, and this doesn't. This has the servo tray actually fits inside in between the wing ribs. It's kind of a tight fit, but everything does work in there. I think an 8 ounce tank is about as big as you can go on this. He says you can go up to a 10 ounce, but I don't know what fuel tank he would have been using. That's a 10 ounce that would have fit in there. 8's as big as I think you can go. The tail section is also just 1/4 inch. It's kind of got a kind of like a kit in the back there. The rudder has like a little post that you make a 1/4 inch notch in. It kind of sits up top of the stabilizer. Other than that, I mean, it's a solid little airplane. It is. I mean, for only having two formers, those sides are pretty solid. The wings are really strong. I don't think you really need a real high torsional strength covering for the wing, because it is made with 1/8" ribs. I did use Monocoat on it, and Monocoat is one of the stronger iron-on coverings, but I don't think you have to use Monocoat. It's got Sullivan push rods in it for the elevator and rudder. I just used SIG 4-star gear. We bent it a little bit more to make it sit up taller. We got a Sullivan tail wheel bracket on it, which worked really nice. It got the spring that goes into the rudder. After flying it now, compared to what I was used to flying my original, I can do more with this now than when I could. It's really touchy. If you go by his standard rates, like the elevator is set on 1/2 inch, and that's too much for me. The ailerons are really touchy on his rates because they're so wide. But I'll get used to it, and hopefully we can get some good footage of it. And you'll see the second one. It's going to be about the same scheme. It's going to be a metallic green and white. So we'll see that too. Thanks. This is it's 1/8" sheet cross grain. All this sheeting that's on the top and bottom, that is cross grain 1/8" sheet. And what you do is you get a piece of 3/32, and you narrow it down so it fits in between the 2 3/8 square. Make a nice tight fit, and it gets a 1/4 inch for the screws to go into. But I would recommend getting these from Ohio Superstar. They're little inserts. They're number 2s, which would be like for a 256 screw, or the I think even a Dubro servo screw
Number 2
would work in those. I got my screws from RTL Fasteners. That's the servo tray that I made back in there. It's kind of a custom fit. I'm pretty sure a Futaba one would fit in there, but I did make a custom fit servo tray. On mine, I got a 6-volt battery up front to balance it out right now. I also got a little bit of lead underneath the crankshaft. But the receiver fits good right there. It's kind of a tight fit. It is.
And people can get the plans for this on Outer Zone, or
yeah.
Okay.
And you'll see buried underneath all this stuff here is my fuel tank. And make sure that your fuel tank, there's the spar for this, runs all the way through whenever you slide your wing in. Make sure you cut that spar flush with the inside of the fuselage sides. That way you can get your tank down. Because if you leave that in there, your tank's going to be up too high. It's not going to be in line with the carburetor.
He actually tells you to do that in the instructions.
Yeah, if you get the plans from them, also print out the supplement file for the write-up. But yeah, glue those inserts in if you choose to go that route. Put thin CA on the back sides of them. Watch getting it in the hole. But those thin CA with a little bit of kicker on them, those aren't going anyplace.
And the name of the guy that does that is?
Just go to Ohio Superstar, Dave Brown. He has everything Dave Brown used to have except for his spinners. Dave Brown's still doing his own spinners. But I do recommend using Ohio Superstar's products because their tail wheel brackets are high quality. I didn't use one of theirs on this, but they are very, very high quality. They have from real small tail wheel brackets to a 3rd scale size, and his 3rd scale tail wheel brackets are extremely nice. So if you haven't heard of Ohio Superstar products, that's a good place to go and kind of look.
Yeah, we'll put a link in the description here below, and people can go check that out. So.
Those are the only servo locks, the connector locks that I'll use.
Okay.
Because they're the best that's out there, and they're cheap.
All right. All right, well, we'll get back to flying here. Hopefully we can get some more good footage of it, so.